Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Sailor's Wife, Crazy Life. Today I'm gonna just kind of sit down and do a real quick video. I wanted to kind of touch on really quick. We talked about PCS in our last video, and I kind of wanted to talk about our military family. And by military family, I mean the military spouses for me that I make friends with. You know, the kids make friends with their kids, and kind of how that life is like for us. And if you keep seeing me look down, I have a little list here of the things that I want to touch on. So just to get started, you know, you guys know that I am previous military. So I personally have a lot of military friends that I was in boot camp with. I was a corpsman in the military. I did a lot of different rotations in the hospital that I was stationed at, and eventually ended up in the pharmacy, and I was stationed in Jacksonville, Florida. And I got really lucky that, you know, I was in for 4 years. I joined back when, you know, you could just do a 4-year stint and get out. I make it sound like jail, but it's really not. Nowadays, they make you sign on for a lot longer. And, you know, there's a lot of politics there. So I have a lot of military friends, and I keep in contact with those friends through Facebook. I don't see them. There are a lot of them that are kind of scattered to the four winds. There are some that are closer to me, but unfortunately because they're military, I don't see them a lot, and it's really hard to get together with them. But I do see their babies growing up, and, you know, I get to see their fur babies growing up if they don't have kids. And that kind of thing. So I just kind of keep in contact with them through Facebook. And then I became a military spouse. So I got out of the military in 2007. I met my husband in 2008, and he joined August of 2008. We got married in June of 2009. And at that point, of course, I became a military spouse. And then we started moving around everywhere. So our first duty station, I already lived where his first duty station was. So we basically moved in together, and that's a whole nother video. But we moved in together there, and then he was there for about 16 months, and then we moved to San Diego, California. And in San Diego, California, I met some wonderful people. We had what we called the alleyway. So it was 4 row houses here, 4 row houses here. Your garages kind of butted up against each other, and then you had an alleyway that went through those, you know, 8 garages. And because we all hung out, we would put fire pits out, and I'm telling you, it was the best time that I could have had. While I was in San Diego, I had a lot of great friends, and unfortunately, I had to say goodbye to them in 2015. So we were there from 2010 to 2015. So we were there for 5 years. And like I said, I met some great, wonderful, wonderful military personnel. I met wonderful military friends. And unfortunately, when you PCS, you have to say goodbye. One of those friends, I got really lucky. And, you know, there are those times where you find those military spouses that you just click with. There are some that you click with, and you're just friends and you're acquaintances, and you hang out and you have a great time, don't get me wrong. But then you have those ones that they become family. We do have a few of those. I don't want to get upset. But she in particular became family. She started watching my middle child when she was 2.5, almost 3. And Sophia will be, or just turned 8, I should say. We just had a birthday in August. So we've known her for a little over 5 years. And in that time period, she legitimately became family. We met in 2013, end of 2012, beginning of 2013. And like I said, she watched Sophia for me. And gradually, with her watching Sophia for me while I was at work, we just kind of gradually became friends. You know, it would be that I would go pick Sophia up and we would talk longer and longer each time I went over to pick Sophia up. And she only lived 3 doors down from me. And so it became, you know, if they went out of town, I watched their dogs for them. If I went out of town, she watched my dog for me. And we just, like I said, it just slowly became a very close-knit family. We moved from San Diego in 2015, and we moved to where we're at now. And we got extremely lucky that my girlfriend her husband was able to be stationed 3 hours from us. So from 2015 to, unfortunately, just 2 months ago, she lived 3 hours away from us. So in 2015, I had my youngest son, and my husband and I sat down and, you know, it's not every day that you meet someone that you click with on a whole nother level other than just having that military spouse connection. And she became my kid's godparent, along with her husband, who both of them godmom, godfather, however you want to put it. So she became the godparent to my kids. And she has watched my kids grow. Well, in 2016, I became a TT, auntie, or TT for short. She had my amazing nephew. He is a dream. He's a mess, but he's a dream. And I became a TT, and I'm telling you what, I didn't expect the reciprocation from her in any way, shape, or form, and that is not why we made them godparents to my kids. But shortly after, or not shortly after, I guess, she was further enough along to know, obviously, what she was having. And the first Christmas, while he was still in her belly, she gave me and my husband a Christmas ornament and asked if we would like to be his godparents. And I will have you know, this mama cried like a baby. I'm in love with that boy, and I couldn't ask for a better nephew. And don't get me wrong, I have legitimate blood nieces and nephews, and those kids will never be replaced. I have other best friends. I have a best friend that hopefully I will get to talk about her when I touch on like leaving, you know, blood relatives and how that feels, because you guys got the kids version of it last night. But having someone who you've known for a shorter period of time ask you to be their kid's godparent is just an amazing feeling. Because, like I said, I have blood nieces and nephews. I have a best friend now of almost 30 years that I wouldn't trade my 2 nieces for the life of me. I am auntie to all of my best friend's kids, and legitimately auntie to all of, you know, my blood relatives' kids. And, you know, I just found out I'm going to be an auntie again. My sister-in-law is pregnant, and I'm so excited. I hope she has a girl. I think she wants another boy, but this TT's hoping for a girl. I need to spoil a baby girl. So I have other nieces and nephews, but to have a military spouse, and that's where I'm getting at it, it's not to diminish any other nieces or nephews that I have, but to have a military spouse that you have clicked with and become family with, basically ask you to be their godparent to their kid, it's just an amazing feeling. But again, you know, your kids grow up together. And there's other people who live here on the base with me that I have become good friends with, and I'm not diminishing that particular connection that I have now. And those kids are growing up with my kids now, and you know, it just really is nice to have that camaraderie with other military spouses and have my kids connect with their kids and be friends. And you know, it's just an awesome feeling. But getting back to the task at hand, the saddest part of everything is definitely having to leave those people. And unfortunately, in October, we had to say goodbye to TT. And I won't say where, but they moved back West Coast. Her husband is stationed somewhere over there, and we're on the East Coast. So now they're 3 hours difference from us, so it's hard to stay in contact. I got to talk to my nephew last night, and it's so great. I hate watching him grow up through a lens, but it's better than nothing. And with all the technology that we have, I'm able to stay in contact with him, and he seems to get a huge kick out of talking to TT and Uncle. So again, I won't make this, you know, too long. I just wanted you guys to realize that, you know, our military, they fight for our freedom every single day, and their job is hard. My husband comes home and, you know, he loves his job. He joined the military to do what he wants to do, but it's hard for them. And they leave their family all the time to go on deployments and stuff. And I couldn't imagine. Like I said, I was in the military, but I never had to go on deployment and leave my family. I was grateful enough to be stationed stateside my whole entire military career because my schooling was so long, which is, like I said, a whole nother video. But, you know, it's hard for the military spouse as well, because we make these friends, we connect with them on a whole nother level, and then we have to turn around and leave them. And it just breaks my heart. And this time I think it was the hardest because she has been around since my middle child was 3. And, you know, I had prepared myself to go up there. You know, we went up there and we said our goodbyes and stuff like that. And I had prepared myself, you know, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because we had done this before. We had said our goodbyes before. But I'm telling you what, people, this was the hardest goodbye I've ever had to do. Because when I say goodbye to my legitimate blood family, I know that there's always a chance of me seeing them again. They're family. They're not getting rid of me that easy. But with military family, if you want to call it that, there's a good chance that duty stations could keep us scattered to the 4 winds. And, you know, with me having a 5-person family, it's not as easy as just hopping on a plane and going to the West Coast and seeing them. I mean, you're talking a couple thousands of dollars. And I would give my left leg to be able to go see them whenever I want to. But it's just hard with money and, you know, him being military, obviously, it's hard for him to take off the time. So again, just to sum everything up, you know, as a military spouse, really just enjoy the people that you have around you while you have them around you. And try to stay as close as you can to those people that, you know, you get taken away from. And, you know, just, I guess, basically live every day like you may not get to see them again, but hope in the back of your mind that you're going to get to see them again. And thank God for technology so that I can keep in contact with my nephew and, you know, with my best friend and her husband. And, you know, that as much as it sucks to see each other through a lens, at least it's not we're seeing each other never. So again, this is the end of this video, and I promise you guys that not every video is going to be me sitting down talking to you through a camera. I'm still kind of learning the whole process of editing and that kind of thing, making sure that not everything is so spliced together. So once I get the hang of editing and stuff, there'll be a whole lot more that I can do with this. And so yeah, I'm going to end this here. Please, guys, like this video. Comment below if you have any questions for me of what you think you may want me to answer, because I've yet to get really any comments other than, you know, awesome job, we really need this type of video, that kind of thing. I've gotten those, and for you that have sent me those comments, I'm so grateful. I've still got a very small following, but I'm just getting started. So, share this video all over the place. Hopefully you guys get me out there. And as always, keep living the crazy life. Have a good night.